Welcome to Weekly Digest, where we highlight the work of ministers of government as they push the administration's development agenda. Picking up from where we left off last week, on Monday, the government received a consignment of 67,535 doses of the Sputnik V vaccine, another quota of the 200,000 vaccine doses it purchased from Russia. The shipment, which arrived at the Chedi Jagan International Airport, brings Ghana closer to achieving herd immunity. Minister of Health, the Honourable Dr. Frank Anthony, urged the nation to capitalize on the opportunity to get immunized against a severe form of COVID-19. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, the Honourable Mohaber Anil Nandlal, on Monday met with residents of Clonbrook and Annsgrove, East Coast Demerara. These meetings were aimed at discussing opportunities being offered through the government's 20,000 online scholarships program.
We also ensured that there are courses for every Guyanese, irrespective of where you stand in terms of your matriculate qualifications. We ensured that we chose universities whose academic integrity is respected, so that when you are certified and you are given a paper, a degree or a certificate or a diploma, it is recognized.
Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance, the Honourable Gail Teixeira, has commended the work of Equal Ghana, a non-governmental human rights organization which advocates for the respect and acceptance of the LGBTQ community and its allies. Minister Teixeira was speaking on Monday following the signing of a project contract between the High Commission of Canada and Equal Ghana. The project is titled Promoting Gender Equality with the focus of establishing LGBTQ rights through engagement, education and empowerment.
We have not made many of the changes that many other countries of the world have made. However, I believe firmly in the three principles that Equal Guyana is also promoting. The whole idea of engagement, education, and empowerment. I think those are three critical tools and foundations upon which we can reduce prejudice, we can reduce ignorance, we can reduce intolerance in our society.
Minister of Health, the Honourable Dr. Frank Anthony, on Monday kicked off the anti-malaria campaign in Region 9 with the handing over of 17,300 insecticide-impregnated bed nets to residents. Of that amount, 14,400 nets are for beds, while 2,900 are for hammocks. Minister Anthony says the campaign is geared at ensuring the numbers of cases are reduced and, where possible, eliminated.
The bed nets that we are giving out is a specially designed net that has insecticide that is embedded into the net. And therefore, when a mosquito lights on this bed net, it would actually absorb the insecticide and it would die. And by so doing, we are going to reduce the population of mosquitoes.
The nets are treated to last for 3 years, even with continuous washing. A $27.7 million maternity waiting home has been commissioned in Lethem Region 9 to reduce maternal and neonatal deaths. Monday's development is part of government's efforts to ensure equitable and quality health care is available to every Guyanese. Minister of Health, the Honourable Dr. Frank Anthony, who delivered remarks at the event at the Lethem Regional Hospital, said the project is part of a 5-year US $8 million maternal child health improvement project funded by the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB.
Our aim is to make sure that we don't have any deaths at all. And to make sure that that happens, we would like to have mothers from far-flung areas come closer to the hospital. And in this case, we would be in the hospital compound.
The waiting home is equipped with 14 beds, 7 each for women requiring prenatal and postnatal care. Residents of Good Fortune Squatting Area Region 3 have commended the government for delivering on its promise to provide the area with potable water for the first time. Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, the Honourable Susan Rodriguez, had visited the community in December and promised residents that their needs will be addressed. She says the infrastructural works is 90% completed and is scheduled to finish ahead of its deadline. In addition to the potable water, the community will benefit from the construction of concrete drainage structures and reinforced concrete walkways to the tune of $7.4 million. Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, the Honourable Onit Walron, says Guyanese must take advantage of the opportunities offered by the government's online scholarships program, since higher education is the pathway to empowerment and poverty alleviation. The minister was speaking at the launch of the program at Victoria Village in Coven John on the east coast of Demerara.
This is not a political movement. This is an attempt to give into what matters. This is an attempt to build you up. When you are educated, nobody can take that degree from you. In fact, education, higher education, gives you and builds you up with the capacity to think for yourself.
Minister Walron told residents that the administration has partnered with 6 international institutions which will provide 104 programs. She noted that there is a wave of opportunities on the horizon as more companies seek to do business in Guyana.
People are just coming to Guyana in droves, and so these hotels are going to be built out. And we need people in the service sector. We need people, trained people, to work in these hotels, because these branded hotels don't take you off the street. They want to make sure that you have your certificates.
Agriculture Minister the Honourable Zulfikar Mustafa on Wednesday spearheaded the signing of some $975.1 million in contracts, which will see the various agriculture agencies enhancing their services to better the lives of Guyanese.
Here we have almost 8 contracts for NDIA alone, and you have other agencies, NARI, Hope Coconut Estate, you have Hydromet, GSA. We will expect that you all carry out these work with ensuring that you follow the necessary specifications.
The contracts were signed between the heads of agencies and the respective contractors in the ministry's boardroom. Residents of St. Cuthbert's Mission on Wednesday turned out in their numbers for the launch of government's 20,000 online scholarships program in the village. Minister of Public Service, the Honourable Sonia Parag, who led a team to the community, urged residents to take the opportunity to acquire a scholarship.
I encourage you today to really take up this opportunity. This is an opportunity that you must seize. Education takes you everywhere. It takes you everywhere. It makes you independent. It gives you that power to earn. You can set up your own business. You can apply for a job in the public sector, a job for the private sector. Anything of your choice. We have so many programs there available, at least 85 programs there available, that you will find something.
Minister of Education, the Honourable Priya Manikchan, and Chief Executive Officer Dr. Marcel Hudson announced the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate (CSEC) and Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination (CAPE) results on Wednesday. With a total of 12,009 students sitting the CSEC 2020 examination, Guyana has recorded an overall pass rate of 75.99% as compared to 73% in 2019, while the overall pass rate for CAPE is 93.16%.
Mathematics and English, 2 critical areas for matriculation, for moving on to university and so on. Grades 1 to 3 passes in English remained constant with pass rates of 77.91% in 2020 as against 77% in 2019. English B improved significantly from 58.1% in 2019 to 78.3% in 2020. That's some 10% improvement, 10 or 20, yeah, 20, yeah. A noted improvement was recorded in mathematics with a pass rate of 48.66 in 2020, as against 43 in 2019. In mathematics, the pass rate actually improved. Additional mathematics recorded a pass rate of 74.3 in 2020.
Ghana has topped the entire Caribbean at the 2020 Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination CAPE and the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate CSEC examinations. Out of the 7 awards that the Caribbean Examination Council CXC gives to the regional students for CAPE, Ghana will be receiving 2, and out of the 5 awards for CSEC, Ghana copped 4.
I think to have written these exams in those circumstances and done this well says 2 things: that you had a good foundation, you have good support, and that you have a very promising future. And today I tell you that we will work very hard in the government and in the Ministry of Education to make sure that you don't, for want of financial resources or guidance, that you are not forced to not pursue any of your dreams or passions. We will make ways available and give you opportunities.
Residents of Dehoop Mahaika and surrounding Region 5 communities were urged to never stop pursuing higher education and to take full advantage of government's 20,000 online scholarships as it was carefully crafted to develop the lives of all Guyanese. On Wednesday, Minister within the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development, the Honourable Anand Prasad, launched the initiative at the Dehoop Primary School.
I want to make it absolutely clear that goal is free of charge. Free of charge. Many of you may be thinking that we don't have enough money to access the internet. But the Ministry of Education will be making flash drives available with the programs that you endeavor to partake in.
Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, the Honourable Mohaber Anil Nandlal, on Thursday opened the Bartika's first and modern $177 million Magistrates Court. He described it as a tremendous achievement and testimony of the transformation taking place in the country. He says the judiciary is essential for any country to move forward.
In every society in which there is economic development, social progress, and prosperity, you have a judicial system that is functioning, that is efficient, that is considered to be impartial, and that enjoys the public confidence of that society. We can't get progress without that.
With the opening of the court, the region will have its first resident magistrate, making it possible to have court hearings 5 days per week. Previously, court was held in the region 3 days per week. Residents of Monrepo and Good Hope were on Thursday urged to get themselves equipped for the transformation Ghana is poised to experience. The call was made by Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, the Honourable Mohaber Anil Nandlal, as government took the online scholarships program to the communities.
It is our duty to ensure that our people, our young people in particular, continue to be equipped so that they can compete with the world. There is no space anymore at the top on the stage of success for uneducated people. That is the cold hard reality. And the quicker we accept that, the better equipped we will become to meet the competition. And it is against that backdrop that this program was conceived.
Meanwhile, Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, the Honourable Onij Walren, also noted that the program is one that should not be taken lightly. Minister of Amerindian Affairs, the Honourable Pauline Sukai, last weekend launched the government's 20,000 online scholarships program in several Region 8 villages. During the 5-day visit, the minister spoke of many programs and certificates that are being offered by the 6 international universities.
These opportunities will require a certain level of entry, but there are some programs that the program list offered that will encourage those without the required certification to apply for those programs. And when you do well in the first 6 months of the program, and the institution is satisfied that you are student material, scholarship material, you will be able to graduate into a bachelor's degree program.
The government has committed to undertake major infrastructural works in East Rheinfeldt. On Thursday, Minister of Public Works, the Honourable Bishop Juan Edgell, Local Government and Regional Development Minister, the Honourable Nigel Darmalal, and Agriculture Minister, the Honourable Zulfikar Mustafa, met with residents of the community.
From my standpoint, we will be providing quite a few $100,000 per month, nearly $1 million per month with those 25 community enhancement workers. And I'll have to appoint some team leaders as well who will help to coordinate the work within East Rheinfeldt. It would not be just limited to Warlock, but the entire East Rheinfeldt, because the entire ward got to be clean, right?
I heard the Ministry of Local Government would have said that they will employ some people to do enhancement work in the community, and we will also, from our level, employ some people to do the drainage work in the community.
Development is a partnership. It's not just what the government is doing. Development is a partnership. Government has responsibilities. People also have their responsibilities. For our own national pride, our own personal hygiene, and our own self-respect and dignity, we should revive the spirit of volunteerism, patriotism, and let us get involved in some amount of cleanup.
Some 400 food hampers will be distributed to the community in observance of the country's upcoming Independence Day. Minister of Education, the Honourable Priya Manikchan, on Friday announced that schools will remain closed until September, except for those students who had returned to classroom learning.
For all classes across the country, we are going to remain closed for the remaining days in May and months of June, July, and August for all of the classes that have been closed, except for those that have already returned to the classroom, which would really be grades 10, 11, and 12, or 4th, 5th, and 6th form.
The minister said this decision was taken based on advice from the Ministry of Health. Minister of Public Works, the Honourable Bishop Juan Edgell, has issued a clarion call for citizens throughout the country to beautify their surroundings in the lead-up to Independence Day. The minister made this plea while inspecting ongoing maintenance works financed through his ministry.
Even if it's just the width or length of your property line, you clean up. It is something doing that was not done before. Don't let us sit back and complain that the Mayor and Town Council didn't come or the NDC didn't come.
Minister Edgell says though complaints against the local authorities may have merit, citizens should have national pride and clean up their respective areas.
We are Guyanese. Everything can be a fight and a division. Our independence is something that should bring us all together. Guyana is we own. Guyana belongs to all of us. So let's clean up Guyana. Let's work together to beautify Guyana. And let's celebrate our 55 years.
As of May 20th, some 177,649 persons across the country have received their first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, representing 36% of the adult population. Minister of Health, the Honourable Dr. Frank Anthony, made the revelation during Friday's COVID-19 update. He reported that 47,504 persons have received their second dose, representing 9.8% of the population that are now fully immunized.
We have also seen, when we break it down by age, that we've had, for persons 60 years and above, we have been able to immunize now with the first dose vaccine about 66.2% of that population. And for persons between 40 and 59 age group, 33.7%. and for persons 39 to 18 age group, 27.2%.
Minister Anthony says that more work has to be done to improve immunization among the younger age group, 18 to 40.
When we look at the number of infection that is occurring, new cases of infection, we are seeing those new cases are predominantly between 18 and 40. And so this group is more vulnerable to the infection because, I guess, because they're more active, they're moving around, they're coming in contact with persons who are positive. And because of that, they can spread the infection to others. So it is important that we immunize this age group.
Vice President, the Honorable Dr. Bar Jagdeo, says there is no empirical evidence to show the efficacy of lockdowns during the pandemic. He was speaking during a media conference on Friday at the Artichung Conference Center.
People often during the course of the day, they engage in economic activities and other activities that without wearing a mask or observing any protocol. But we will keep a close watch on the situation. We have to keep people working to at least economic activities going, and at the same time try to urge our people, all of our people, every single one of them, to try to come in, take the vaccine.
Meantime, the Vice President says the government is looking at ways to continue providing assistance for people during the pandemic.
We're definitely considering for vulnerable groups, like older folks and others, maybe single parents, that something, because that's easier to administer. But we are keeping constant the thought of helping these communities and people who need the help.
The Vice President says government is looking at the cost of living issues carefully. The matter is also engaging the attention of policymakers daily.
I have no doubt that once the pandemic is over and production levels go up, that things will come down. And locally here too, if we increase supply, then we may be able to get the cost down.
The layout of the Kingston Seawall is set to undergo significant changes as First Lady Mrs. Arya Ali and Minister of Public Works, the Honourable Bishop One Edgell, on Friday rolled out additional plans to upgrade the leisure hotspot. Speaking at the consultation with a number of stakeholders, Mrs. Ali said the project will be ideal for locals and tourists alike.
In the initial phases, we were hoping to zone that area, a family zone, so that we can have our children in a safe environment, clean, and there are activities that can happen there for the family in general.
Minister Edgell said the project falls in line with the administration's development agenda.
In conjunction with private sector stakeholders, we plan to develop this area into a world-class riverfront, seafront development with facilities that meet international standards.
That's it for this edition of Weekly Digest. For these and other government-related information, do log on to our website, dpi.gov.gy, and our social media platforms as well. Goodbye.